Joao Pedro, which budget forward should you be buying in FPL this week? Well, I'm going to use the latest form versus fixture charts to help you decide. Help me get this one to 500 likes and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. Starting off with the form chart then, and the first thing to note is that there's quite a big range here in terms of the form of teams at the moment, and significantly nobody is running away with it. There are some teams that are struggling now at the bottom, including significantly Man City. Only Leicester have worse form than City in the last 4 game weeks. And bearing in mind, I've played Southampton, Bournemouth and Brighton in that 4-game period. That is a major concern now, and it makes us look at City assets in a different light. We also see Aston Villa in the bottom quarter of this chart, another key team that seem to be struggling in recent games, and that's something that we really need to monitor, especially because their Champions League schedule is so demanding as well. Looking at the opposite end though, at the top, Spurs keep their place up there. They are down 1 from 2nd to 3rd this week. That big win against Manchester City, though, is significant and will certainly help them in terms of confidence going forward, at least from an attacking perspective. Liverpool remains so consistent as well in 2nd place. If you don't own Mo Salah, you really need to find a way to get him in, because it's kind of him or nothing when you look at that Liverpool attack right now. But the team in top spot, maybe a bit of a surprise, is Wolves. They've been so consistent in recent games. 2 really big results. That 4-0 away at Fulham, particularly impressive. And now is certainly looking like a very good time to buy Matheus Cunha. If we move on to the fixture charts then, these are taken from Fantasy Football Hub. You can get the fixture analyzer for free with a 30-day free trial right now for Green Friday, turning your arrows green in FPL using the link in the description to this video. And if you can try out Hub for a month. If you're not enjoying it, you can just cancel and you won't pay anything, but hopefully you'll love it and want to stick with your membership. So this is attack fixture ticker over the next 4 game weeks, and again, some important things to note here all across the table. Again, we've got a bit of a weird range here in terms of, you know, there's not any team that completely jump out at us and you think great fixtures, or vice versa, awful fixtures as well. Manchester United are a team at the bottom. Obviously, they've got trips to Arsenal and Manchester City in the next 4 games. Not particularly impressive in their debut under Amorim away at Ipswich. Obviously, Everton at home is a nice entry point, but it does go downhill from there. Liverpool are down in the bottom. I don't think that's going to impact them, though, if you look at their fixtures. The Man City game is at home. I think that's a great fixture considering how poor City are doing this season, because they're right down there as well on the fixture chart. If we look what's going on at the top then, Bournemouth in 3rd place. It's just a shame that Semenyo is suspended for the trip to Wolves this week. He's one that you probably will still want to invest in come game week 14. Wolves themselves are in 2nd place. Bournemouth at home and Ipswich at home in the next 4 are the most attractive fixtures, but the team out in front with home games against Southampton and Crystal Palace in this period, it's Brighton. There's not a lot to split Brighton and Wolves, I'll be honest, but yeah, Brighton just getting the edge here, and Joao Pedro, back from injury, has been so consistent already, and he's among the most bought players with 1 goal and 1 assist in each of his last 2 appearances. He has played less than 90 minutes across those 2 games though. Putting all of that together then, let's have a look at this overall chart. Man City, 2nd from bottom. If you were looking for permission to sell Erling Haaland, this is your permission. Liverpool in 4th place, Man City in 19th place. The time to switch from Haaland to Salah, well, we all should have done it 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, of course, but if you haven't done so yet, do not be stubborn. Get those transfers done. There are a few other teams down the bottom that are a bit of a concern. Manchester United, Fulham, Smith Rowe, very highly owned in the game. Aston Villa, Watkins, Rodgers owners. They seem to be struggling, and they've not got the fixtures on their side to make you think that they're going to improve their form anytime soon. We do see rises up the rankings for Arsenal and Chelsea. She's definitely going to help them. Liverpool just outside the top 3, but not by a lot. Now, the team in 3rd place is Spurs, and yes, they've got a lot of defensive injuries. Vicario, Romero, Van de Ven. That means they have to attack. Attack is their main source of defence right now. So if you're sat on a Spurs attacker, I would keep hold of them. I really would. I think these charts helps me keep Spurs assets last week. We were rewarded in that 4-0 win. The evidence is still there that they're going to do well. And then Brighton are in 2nd place, but out in front by some margin, by the way, it's Wolves. Let's have a look then now at the best picks then in the game. And obviously in 3rd place, we had Spurs in the chart. And I still think Dominic Solanke is a very good player to own in the game. I think Fulham at home is a fantastic fixture. Then it's Bournemouth away, which seems okay. Chelsea at home, Southampton away. That's not a bad 4 fixtures for him. Lots of managers thinking to sell Solanke to move funds into midfield, go down to a Cunha or a Joao Pedro. That's not the route in my eyes though. He's got 2 goals, 2 assists in the last 4 game weeks. He always plays 90 minutes. I think Postecoglou has found a better balance in his attack with Bentancur out, moving Johnson out of the team, Kulusevski over to the wing, Maddison in the 10. That is where he thrives, and I think we'll see that link-up play between Maddison and Solanke really come to the fore with Maddison in the 10 role, because he really likes having that target man to play off. We've got brilliant dead ball delivery as well. Maddison himself probably still a little bit of a risk to buy, given that he has been benched for 2 of the last 3 games. But fair play to anyone that's going there, because I'm sure it will pay off when you look at those fixtures. In 2nd place, it's the 2nd most bought player this week, Brighton's Joao Pedro. We know how versatile he is in terms of the positions he can play. He needs that because there is a lot of competition for places in that Brighton attack. He's also on penalties if he's on the pitch, of course. Southampton at home feels like a great entry point to buy. And then you look at the fixtures over the next 6. Fulham away, Leicester away, Palace at home, West Ham away, Brentford at home. You're buying him for the entire month of December and you can just leave him there. I think the challenge is his minutes, but I think he's proven in the last couple of games that the minutes don't matter. He's going to do well regardless of whether he's on the pitch for 30 minutes or 90 minutes. And if he does get close to 90 minutes, maybe we'll see some even bigger hauls. I guess the only barrier to buying Joao Pedro is Matheus Cunha. If you don't own either of these players yet, Cunha's getting in there ahead, because Wolves are head and shoulders above the rest in these charts at the moment. If you've not got a slice of that Wolves attack, Cunha is the man to go for. You look at their output in the last 4 game weeks, they've scored 10 goals, and Cunha's been involved in 70% of those. He's just doing so well as well. Bournemouth at home next feels like a great fixture without Semenyo. Everton away, Everton can't score goals and are conceding as well. West Ham, patchy form. Ipswich at home, Leicester away. He's still only 16.1% owned, so he's still a relative differential. And I think one thing to note is that Wolves are doing so well at the moment in terms of that balance of form and fixtures. You could even include Cunha in the captaincy conversation for some of these upcoming game weeks as well, because certainly that midweek game week 14, there's some tricky fixtures elsewhere that some of the big players have got to contend with. Let me know in the comments then if you're enjoying this form versus fixtures series. What has made you rethink your transfer plans for this week, looking at the charts that I've just shared? And check out the link in the description. Get that Green Friday offer from Fantasy Football Hub. 30-day free trial. It's a bargain. You've got to take advantage of that. Hope you've enjoyed this one. I'll be back tomorrow with the experts. Thank you for watching.